Imagine a symbol part serpent, part rooster, armored, crowned, carrying a shield in one hand and a whip in the other. A creature so ancient its meaning slips between fingers like smoke. This is Abraxas, not a god nor a demon, but something far older, the architect where opposites collide and fuse. Tonight we open a door few even realize exists, not to worship, not to fear, but to remember. Abraxas first appears in the records of Gnostics, early mystical sects who believed the material world was a prison, a fallen echo of a higher, untouchable light. The name Abraxas itself is no accident. In Greek numerology, isopsephy, the letters in Abraxas add up to 365, the same as the number of days in a solar year, the same as the number of heavens, rulers, and powers they believed governed the layers of existence. Abraxas was seen not as a ruler of just one force, but of all forces simultaneously: light and darkness, creation and destruction, spirit and flesh. In a world obsessed with clean divisions, good versus evil, Abraxas stood above it all as a reminder. True power doesn't choose sides, it contains all sides. Chapter 2. The Strange Iconography. Why the body of a man, the head of a rooster, and the legs of a serpent? Every part of Abraxas speaks in symbols, not words. Now, rooster head, herald of light, a symbol of awakening, crowing at the birth of a new day. It represents divine annunciation, not prophecy, but activation. Man's body, the seat of a rational will, the ability to choose and to shape. Serpent's legs, earthly wisdom, primal knowledge. Serpents know both death and rebirth. They shed to survive. Now, shield and whip, protection and force, creation and destruction, mercy and severity. Abraxas was not meant to be beautiful. He was meant to be uncomfortable, because growth is uncomfortable, because real awakening isn't about purity, it's about embracing the full, messy, radiant totality of existence. Chapter 3. Abraxas and the Demiurge. In Gnostic cosmology, the Demiurge, the artisan creator, fashioned the material universe, often imperfectly. Some believed Abraxas stood above the Demiurge, controlling even him. Others believed Abraxas was a masked face of a Demiurge, revealing the hidden unity behind seeming division. In either view, Abraxas is a gatekeeper, not a gate to heaven, not a gate to hell, a gate to understanding that both were born from the same breath. He is a living answer to the question no one dares to ask. What if good and evil are illusions built to trap you? Chapter 4. Abraxas in Ancient Magic and Amulets. Abraxas didn't just exist in philosophy. He was worn, carried, and invoked. Thousands of ancient amulets, engraved stones, and magical charms depict him. His image wrapped with cryptic words like Ayayo, Sabaoth, Ablanat Hanalba. These were not meaningless decorations. Each sigil, each name, carried vibrational keys, words of power designed to pierce the layers of false reality. Those who carried Abraxas sought more than protection. They sought sovereignty, the right to stand outside the cosmic games, to no longer be pawn, nor priest, nor victim. In modern language, you could say, they sought to become architects of their own destiny. Now, Chapter 5. Abraxas in later esoteric traditions. You won't find many mainstream churches talking about Abraxas. He vanished from common teachings, but not from secret traditions. He re-emerged quietly in alchemical texts, hidden among treatises of mercury and sulfur. He flickers in old grimoires, undeciphered names, and he even finds a place in Carl Jung's 7 Sermons to Dead, where Jung describes Abraxas as the force that transcends the opposition between God and the devil. Jung understood Abraxas wasn't a solution, he was a confrontation. The collision of life and death, pleasure and pain, spirit and matter, not to be resolved, but to be inhabited consciously. Chapter 6. What Abraxas really teaches. In a world addicted to binaries, good versus evil, light versus dark, us versus them, Abraxas remains a living challenge. He whispers that real mastery isn't in choosing the right side, it's knowing that sides are illusions, and the builder stands at the center, holding the compass and the square, the shield and the whip, the seed and the size. Abraxas reminds you, you are not simply good or bad, you are whole, and wholeness contains contradictions, paradoxes, terrible beauty. The real awakening isn't cleanliness, it's a courage. Chapter 7. Forgotten Keys, Rare Teachings on Abraxas. Few know this, but in certain ancient Gnostic sects, there were whispered teachings about the Abraxian breath. It was said that invoking Abraxas wasn't about chanting his name. It was about breathing in a pattern that mirrors creation and destruction. These breath patterns wasn't meant to summon Abraxas. It was meant to align your inner being with the architecture of reality itself, to synchronize the spiral of life and death within your own cells. This knowledge never made it into popular books. It survived only in fragmented oral traditions, because real power isn't taught to the masses. Chapter 8. Abraxas and You. You are not a spectator here. You are a carrier of a paradox, a breathing shrine to both light and shadow. Abraxas is not waiting to be believed. He doesn't need worship. He exists in the friction between every choice you make. Every time you love and fear simultaneously. Every time you hope and despair in the same heartbeat. The question isn't where Abraxas is real. The question is whether you are willing to carry the whole of yourself without lying, without breaking, without trying to erase the parts that make you uncomfortable. Because in the end, Abraxas isn't outside of you. He is the voice in the center, the builder, the destroyer, the silent witness. Waiting, watching, smiling as you remember.